Hello, today is July 19th, 2025. We always do our disclaimer first, then go over our calls and then make our predictions. This is my trading plan for Monday, which is July 21st, 2025. Remember, I can change my plan. My plan can be wrong, so trade at your own risk. Friday, we looked for the early high, which is this. The first few bars didn't print on TradeStation for some reason. I think the high was around 63.15. And Monday's pattern should have the early low. This usually has an early high and a late low. The late low I don't see, but time doesn't run out until Monday's open. So if we get the normal pattern, we should be down, probably under these lows. At Monday's open, we should have a sizable drop right from the open if we get the normal pattern. The target we had, 62.89.91, did print, even though we gapped up high. It printed right here, and there's support at that number. The other target, 62.70.48, time doesn't run out until early Monday, so if it prints within this normal time frame, preferred time frame, we're going to see this price about 26 handles lower before the end of the first hour Monday. And also, there's a new target, 62.85.94, which is a standard target and an ultimate target. And unless we gap up, these numbers constitute my call for Monday. Gapping up as always takes the time off the table, not the price. When we gapped up, this target time was off the table, but the price remained on. Doesn't mean it wouldn't print Friday, can't say when. This is just a reminder of what we said. We had an idea for a top. We said the top would be either Thursday or tomorrow's open. Tomorrow was Friday's open. It looks like the top was at Friday's open. A friend of mine has a proprietary system which called the point value and the day of this top right on the nose. That goes along with all these other top signals we have. And the more different signals you have from different systems which come to the same conclusion, the more likely it's the right conclusion. So if that's right, this high should hold. We should be dropping here ideally by dropping right from the open on Monday and hitting our targets. Well, in the afternoon, MEJT give a buy signal and an ultimate. Give an ultimate buy and an ultimate sell. We got the ultimate buy. MEJT says it isn't for keep. We're going to undercut this line. Gives us the target 62.85.94, but almost always you get more than the minimum. So we should get more than that, ideally. We still have a bar 13 of a combo sell from Tom DeMark. Any stop is from closing prices. We actually hit a new all-time high and closed negatively, although not much. But hitting a new all-time high and closing in the red's another negative signal occurring right at the top. As far as how low we could drop, well, here's your TDST line. It's about 6,025 cash and change. There's support at and one bar under the line. It's about 5% lower than where we are now. I don't see a big disaster here. I think the most we're going to drop is to around 6,025-ish, which is about 5%. So the most I'm looking for is a 5% drop, give or take a little. Still, I don't like sticking around for 5% drops if I'm right. If we do drop by that much, we're going to undercut this line, kill this idea for the higher high. Not everything's going to work. One thing which probably is going to work is the Lindsay low to low to high system. And now we were off by half a day yesterday. Today you take this low, and this high. It's a direct hit. So it's more evidence that this is an area which is compatible with a significant top if you consider 5% or so significant. We are going to break through this line eventually, I think. You just challenged it too many times. But now it looks like we're going to probably break through this line first, but that hasn't happened. It hasn't happened yet. Just because you can drop 5% doesn't mean you have to. The idea is we're probably in wave 1 of wave 3 up, and I think you're making a consolidation with an expanded flat in wave magenta 2 of 3. And if that's what this is, I'm counting the drop from the all-time high as an ABC with good fibs for A, an ABC with good fibs for B. And if that's the right idea, and if blue C is equal to blue A, we're going to drop to around 62.70, 71, which is exactly where the MEJT target is. So I think there's a good chance we're going to have a straight line drop to around this price at Monday's open, at which point there'd be support and it could easily have a recovery. That's the plan. If that doesn't happen, something else is going on. We take out the high we set Friday, something else really is going on, because that should hold if I'm right about this. It's always a bit hazardous to try to pick tops, bottoms, especially when any drop here is a counter trend move, but I'm going to stick with the call we have for a top either at Thursday's close or Thursday's high or Friday's high, either one. Turned out to be Friday's high. I'm going to stick with the call for a top in that area till I'm proven wrong. I don't think that's wrong. I'm going to use the mixed signals rules again. Here are the patterns for next week. Monday's pattern has a really low regardless of where we open. We have lower MEJT targets. Unless we gap up significantly, the rules call for them to print. It is bullish that Friday's normally bearish pattern didn't close near its low, but don't forget, time doesn't run out until Monday's open. Gapping and promptly undercutting Friday's low kills that pattern, and it is negative we have lower targets, so we have to use the mixed signals rules. We're looking for a gap and prompt move outside the day's range. If the analysis is right, Friday's high is going to hold. We're going to drop in the first hour trading Monday down to the area of the 6270.48 target where there should be support. And if that doesn't happen, and I think there's clear evidence it will, if that doesn't happen, something else is going on. What? I don't know. But that should work. So many different systems are compatible with the top here. It's likely the decline will continue for days to weeks, probably dropping no more than about 5% or so. And after that, the rally should continue. Don't forget, by my count, this is probably wave 2 of wave 3. And when it ends, probably around 6,000 or somewhere around there, we're going to have wave 3 a multiple degree higher. And I think it's going to take us at least to around 7,000. So it's the pattern. It's the pattern with the early low. We're looking for a drop to around 62.70.48, quite possibly followed by a recovery. But before this correction's over, we think we're going to have no more than about a 5% drop, after which there should be a huge rally. So if this doesn't work, I'd be careful, because I'm not really a fan of counter trend trades, which is what I'm going to play this as. And if it goes against me, I don't stick around and cross my fingers and hope I'm going to be correct. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong on this. So if this recent high doesn't hold and something else is going on, it's the pattern. with the early low on Monday, and here are the targets, and that's today's call.